the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the Chinese theater's wet cement. To get the ceremony started, if you'll please help me welcome Nichelle Turner.
Hello, 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 hello. Oh, come on, it's Thursday. It's almost the weekend. There we go. There we go. And it's been a short week, so we're going to celebrate today. It's very exciting to be here today. How you guys doing? You good? Yeah, out of school, you're like, I'm really good today. Well, it's really exciting to be here to celebrate four of the biggest heroes on the planet, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's hear it for them. Absolutely. As you heard Levi just say, this is a very special honor that is reserved for Hollywood's biggest and brightest stars. And Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo managed to earn their place right here. And they're still teenagers, so you know they can do just about anything. They haven't even begun to vote yet, and they're already getting hand and footprint ceremonies. Now, I know that the Turtles would be the first to say that they have not done this on their own. They've had a lot of support over the years. We've all supported them. We love them. And they're on the road now to becoming the superstars that we all know and love today. So before we bring them out, there's a couple people that I want you guys to hear from to helped make the Turtles who they are today. So up first, I would like to introduce one of the biggest champions of the Turtles who helped bring their latest film, Mutant Mayhem, to the big screen and to digital platforms now so everybody can watch it at home. Please join me in welcoming the president and CEO of Paramount Pictures and Nickelodeon, Mr. Brian Robbins. Hello. How are you?
Hi guys, how are you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining us today to celebrate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's really an exciting day for us. You know, what started out as a pencil sketch of a masked turtle with a nunchuck strapped to its arms has morphed into a worldwide phenomenon that has captured imaginations for more than 4 decades. From comics to movies to television shows to games to action figures, and beyond, the Turtles have touched every part of the cultural landscape while providing incredible entertainment. They've inspired longtime fans and gained lots of new ones along the way, like you guys, I suppose, right? Yes. Created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird in 1984, these wildly inventive comic book characters busted into the zeitgeist and never left, becoming one of the most successful and enduring franchises of all time. Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello have captivated millions of fans around the world with their heroic and hilarious exploits across 7 feature films. So on behalf of Paramount Animation and Nickelodeon Animation and my partner Ramsey Naito, there she is, and our amazing filmmaking partners, we're incredibly proud to continue the legacy with our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem film. This film, thanks to our amazing creative team of our leader and director Jeff Rowe, producers Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, and everyone at Point Grey Entertainment, the film is being celebrated not just by new fans, but by multi-generational fans who grew up with these beloved characters. Now, as a massive longtime fan and permanent teenager, we knew that Seth Rogen and his team would infuse this movie with the same heart, passion, and curiosity that Kevin and Peter did when they hatched the Turtles 40 years ago. And under the leadership of Ramsey Naito, the teams at Paramount Animation and Nickelodeon Animation have been working on this project for 4 years to bring Mutant Mayhem to life. It's been a passion and a labor of love, and it's also now the best reviewed animated film of the year. Now, the Turtles brand is one of the most important franchises in Paramount Global's organization. It is truly a privilege to be part of a fantastic character's ongoing success and to continue the momentum with both a theatrical sequel and an exclusive series coming to Paramount Plus soon. But none of this would be possible without the amazing talents of 2 artists. They had an incredible vision and an offbeat sense of humor, and they first conceived of the now world-famous Leo, Mikey, Donnie, and Raph. And so it is my really great pleasure to introduce one of the original creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Please join me in welcoming Kevin Eastman.
Cowabunga! Hey, guys. Man, this is so incredibly awesomely cool. Man, I can't believe, when I look at the history of the Turtles, and we're coming up on 40 years, the Turtles are going to be 40 years old. They're perpetual teenagers like me and Seth Rogen and so many of you other fans out there. But they're going to be 40 years old next year, and every one of the experiences that we've had with the Turtles has just been unexpected, unimagined. It was something that we got into for the love and passion of wanting to tell stories. We were following the footsteps of our hero, Jack Kirby, who created most of the Marvel Universe, as you guys know. But we just wanted to be like him. And I think even back when I proudly announced to my parents that I'm going to be a comic book artist like Jack Kirby, I think they were positive. We're going to have one of those kids that never moves out of the basement. So, and I go back to 40 years ago when Peter and I were sharing a studio. It was called Mirage Studios. It was Mirage because it was our living room. It wasn't really a studio. And coming up with ideas, trying to sell ideas, trying to break into the comic business any way we could. And I thought one night, if Bruce Lee was an animal, what would be the stupidest animal that he would be? Fast-moving martial artist, slow-moving turtle, made me laugh out loud. And so I did this sketch, turtle standing upright, nunchucks after his arms, and said, this is going to be the next big thing, ha, ha, ha. A Ninja Turtle. So I drew it. Pete laughed. He did a sketch, changed some things, and I thought, well, if one, why not a group of them? And so I did a sketch with 4 turtles, each with different weapons, and had written in this kind of comic book Ninja Turtle logo to it. And when he inked it in, he had a Teenage Mutant to the title. And again, we looked at this and we said, this is the dumbest thing we've ever seen, but we love it. This is so incredible. We have to come up with a story that tells how these characters became the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that was in 1984. We started that. And I want to take a minute to give a super awesome shout out to my partner in crime, co-creator, Peter Laird, because without him, they would not exist. And I know he'd love to be here if he could. He doesn't travel that much anymore, but man, what a ride we have had. Because again, go back to 1984. So we'd come up with a story that tells how the Turtles were born. And we convinced my uncle, loaned us $1,200 to print 3,000 comic books, which we were quite positive we would not be able to sell enough copies of them to pay my uncle back. And so this crazy thing started happening is you fans started buying them, which allowed us to do a second issue, which allowed us to do a third issue, to do a fourth issue. And each time the sales improved. And that to us was really the dream came true moment in that Peter and I were now drawing comic books full-time. That's all we wanted to be, follow in the footsteps of Jack Kirby and tell and write and draw our own stories and have a great time. And then this weird thing happened. We started getting calls from people say, we think, different agents and people thought this could be something more than just a comic book. And we were like, no, really? Seriously? We were having so much fun doing the comic book, so we explored the idea to do an animated TV series. And it was one of these, like so many moments with the Turtles, this perfect storm of a great animation crew, great writers like David Wise and Patty Howarth. We got this theme song from a virtually unknown Chuck Lorre at the time, who wrote the original Turtles theme song. And suddenly we had this show. We did 5 parts, 5-part episode, and it could have failed just as easily as it worked. And this crazy thing happened. You fans started watching it, and that led to another 8 episodes, to another season. And then what's even weirder is it got so popular, we were approached to do a live-action movie. And it was like, no way. Perfect storm again. So not only do we have an incredible writer named Todd Langdon, Steve Barron is the director, and then who else but Jim Henson built those original costumes. And you had this wonderful story and told in this wonderful place, and it just as easily could have failed, but it didn't. It worked, and that's all your fault. All you fans that came out to the movie premiere and watching the cartoons. And I always am asked oftentimes when we do a lot of conventions and touring, people will say, how did you know it was going to be, how did you know it was a success? Like a real success. Yes, you were drawing comics. Yes, you were working on the cartoon shows. and work on these movies. But how did you know it was a success? And I picked two moments, which I thought were kind of funny. One was in 1988 when the toys first arrived at the toy store, and the toy store at the time was KB Toys. Peter and I live in Massachusetts, so we drove down to Springfield because we wanted to see them actually in the store. Like, we didn't believe they'd actually be there, even though we worked on them, developed them, worked with the sculptors and all that stuff. So we were going into the toy store, heading to the back, and just as we arrived at the action figure section, there's this mom dragging this young boy out saying, "No, I'm not buying you one of those stupid Ninja Turtles." We were like, what have we done? Oh, no. And this is awesome. The other big moment, I know that it was a success that my grandmother, bless her, for birthdays and Christmases, she would always send me a card with $5 in it. She was watching Jeopardy one night, and the Turtles were questioned on Jeopardy. So she figured I'd now hit it big time enough that she didn't have to send me the $5 anymore. So that's a true mark of success. So listen, it's been such a wonderful journey throughout the original comic books, the original TV series, the original movies, and each time Peter and I would look and say, well, what an incredible ride. Well, next year it's all going to end. Next year that's it. It's been so much fun. And then this thing continued to drive it forward again, you fans that kept wanting to see another series and another Turtle event, something that these characters, you wouldn't let them go, and it was just the coolest, most proudest thing for us as co-parents. And then I fast forward to an incredible time in 2011. Nickelodeon, Paramount, and Viacom, they bought the rights to all things Turtles, and then brought the original creators back in to work on some of these new animated series, the new movies, the new comic books, and it was a big risk and a great creative team, a great partnership of bringing wonderful talent with these. I laugh because these kids were, I don't call them kids because I'm 61. They were half my age. They write better than I do. They draw better than I do. And they grew up as Turtle fans. And they put all of that passion into this new Turtle series, which just as easily could have failed. But it didn't. It worked. The passion was there. The idea was there. The stories were there. And most of all, you fans were there. And here we are, not only through a tremendous, successful animated series, and then I'm thinking right now of spending some time with Jeff Rowe, the director of this movie, with not only Evan Goldberg, but the incredible Seth Rogen, which I'm a huge fan of, developing in this new movie. And Jeff Rowe is like a little shy at first when I started talking to him, and he's talking about his early collection of how often he wore the Turtles Halloween costume, all the toys that he had, his parents staying up Christmas Eve to put the sewer playset together, and or stepping on Leonardo's sword on the way to the restroom in the middle of the night. He was a true and serious fan, and I think it all shows in Mutant Mayhem because it's one of the best rides, the best times, and one of the greatest, most fun Turtle movies that I've seen in a long time, and I think you all agree. I know. I can't wait to see it again, so it's fantastic. I just want to wrap up by saying, listen, this is not only everything that has led us here into this stage, into this moment. Like I said, it was unplanned, unscheduled, could not even have imagined this to happen, but to be here in Hollywood, at the first place when I came to California, I came here. It's the Chinese theater. I wanted to see the hands in the cement. I love the history. I love movies. I love the storytelling and so much that it means. And the fact that we get to be part of that history, mind blown. I don't know anything. I can't come up with words beyond maybe humbling. But what a great moment for a couple of proud daddies of turtle babies, and with a great team. Ramsey, you're awesome. Brian, you always support everything that these creative people, these ideas, these young and talented creative people bring to the table. And it's just a great feeling to be embraced by somebody that now is parents. So it's sort of like three men and some three people and some babies. But now this great team that's supportive of our idea and continuing the tradition and putting out great stories and great movies. And it's a wonderful thing to be part of it and to be part of this event here today. So I will say again, Cowabunga!
Cowabunga!
Nice to be here. Talk more later.
Thank you so much, Kevin. A couple things that I got from that. First of all, the kicks are sick, right? Yeah, they're sick. My godson taught me a new word. He said when something's good, they're filthy. Those are filthy, right? Yeah, absolutely. And the second thing is, guys, I know you were listening and I know you're excited. don't ever give up on your dreams. He's living proof to never give up on your dreams. Even if you're in your living room and you're calling it a studio, it can work. It can definitely work. All right. Thank you, Kevin. Okay, you guys ready? You sure you ready? I don't know if you're ready. Are you ready? All right, all right. It is now time to meet our fellas. Okay, you ready to meet the turtles? Kevin's been saying it. He's kind of been practicing, but on the count of 3, I need you guys to give me like the biggest cowabunga ever, okay? No inside voices. You're not going to get in trouble. I want you to be as loud as you want to be. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Cowabunga! Ladies and gentlemen, please meet our heroes in a half shell. Everybody, let's give it up. Number 1 for... I'm gonna get them right. And I just lost my notes. There they are. There we go. I did all that and then I screwed it up. See what happens? But we're gonna do it again. On the count of 3 for me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cowabunga! All right, everybody, please join me in welcoming Michelangelo. Here he comes. Donatello. Raphael. And our boy